Hey guys, I thought I'd just give you a quick little run through on my setup for Dash League Season 5. This is just a quick overview, so if you want me to go into detail, I can do a setup tutorial style video based on everything that I've got here. One thing to consider is my audio is using the new audio input feature. I think it's still a beta in OBS, so your audio is probably going to be a little different to mine, but the general principles should still be the same. You just have to tweak your audio a little bit. So the overlay is obviously Dash League overlay, dashleague.games, and it'll be the full resolution of your monitor that you're casting from. Replay I haven't set up yet, but in here I will have things like a little frame that'll have the replay flashing so that people are aware it's a replay, and then I'll pick up the last recording, whatever it is. POV is probably where all the action happens. This is the one scene that gets used the most. I've got things like sponsor scoreboard, and that is hotkeyed to Control Tab, so that when I bring up the scoreboard in the game, the sponsor logos image thing shows up over top of the useless bits on the left hand side. In here I've also got my little coffee, buy me a coffee promotional thing, and I switch that on and off as I need to. Logos is only when I'm not using the overlay, so if the overlay buggers up, I'll switch back to logos. Most of the time they are switched off. The chat comments are the things that people are seeing appearing, these things here basically, so I can pick on one of these and up she pops, and that'll stay there for 20 seconds and then it'll auto disappear. I can also set it to auto up here so that it just streams them as they come up. Yeah, there's a moderation issue there. See, that one disappeared 20 seconds. The drone view I don't use too much. It's obviously for the cam. You won't see much in there. It doesn't have any audio attached. That's the cat gotcha. POP I use a lot, and that is simply the POV with the drone on top. And then the little border thing in there. So the audio is actually handled by the POV down here. We've got the game capture window. Now that HyperDash is numbering the windows that it outputs, you don't have to nest them so much. You just have to nest them quite deeply, because if you wanted to change from screen to screen, sometimes it would prompt a bit of confusion in the system, and it would lose track of which screen was the primary and which was the secondary, and you'd end up with two primaries and the secondary would just go away. And if you're a caster, you'll know what I mean, the pain that we had to try and retrain our screens on the fly. Double nesting or deep nesting helped avoid that to a point, but obviously now we don't have to worry about that because we have numbered screens, HyperDash 0, and then if you open another one it comes up HyperDash 1. And of course for the drone view, that's exactly what I've got here, HyperDash 1, and the POV is HyperDash 0. So that always comes up my primary. So now when I start the game, it means I can put the drone or the POV screen on the left hand of my three monitors. It handles all the audio, and it doesn't get confused anymore. Commas bit here, I won't be able to show you unless I jump into Discord, but these are the icons that you see on the left hand side for the commentators, and I've got that set up there as well. Now, picture in picture, today's maps has got its own scene, so that'll play, and I'll just swap the maps out as I need them, and I've got the POV running in the background. And of course it's handling all the audio and everything, so all I do is for any of these intros and outros This one here, for example, actually I need to turn that off. Turn off the countdown. This one here, for example, the intro also has actually the intro is got no audio. I'm controlling the audio completely on the intro. I don't want any of the game sounds on there. But the outro, oh no, the outro is the same. Again, you don't want any game sounds in there running in while you're outro, because they've both got audio basically. Matchup splash screen, again POV, so this is something that'll pop up. Here's the video that I use. I swap them out each time. Picture in picture 2 is when I have to switch to the drone to being the main screen. And then I've got 2 hotkey setup screen scenes for the teams. The last one I cast was obviously dark, and it shows their logo reveal. And then when that runs away, it will have the team link. So I go with the 1200 600. I might have resized it, so those sizings may not be accurate, but you get a decent idea. And then of course you just crop the scene, or the browser source I should say, to the size that you need using the Alt key. It helps you size them up. And then you can of course hit the interact button, and on the screen you get to scroll and it'll show you all the members. Now I've got that hotkey to F1. F2 is the other one. The last match I cast was Southern Cross versus Dark, obviously. It'll play the team logo reveal. I've got that set to run away when it's finished. And then the team pops up with the POV background. So those are the 2 team ones I've got. Map pool I don't think I've used yet. Same deal though. You put a media source on top of POV, call it a scene and hotkey it, and then you just hit that hotkey whenever you need it. Logos, they're a little tricky to set up, but you don't need them with the new overlay these days, so this is really just a backup if something goes wrong. Standing screen, this you've probably seen this a few times. It shows the cycles for season 5 with the teams, just a graphic really. But it's handy for covering up the password if you need to log in while you're live on stream. The left hand side one is the schedule coming up. What I do with that, 800 wide, 3000 high, so that I can get nice and long, and then just crop it as you need it. So you may have to refresh it before the match just to get it all set up right. Crop it, reposition if you need to, and then it's ready for hotkey. And that's good to show upcoming matches. I think that's fairly important. Something we didn't do enough of last season, promoting the upcoming matches. And it gives you a nice way to round out the stream. You pop that up and the commentators will see that, and I'll talk about upcoming matches. I think that's it. Upcoming is pretty much the same thing. I've just combined the standings and the upcoming together. I'll probably separate them out as we get more information and graphics and stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty much my system set up for running Dash League's casts. Obviously it's always a work in progress. Add things as we go along. As the tournament evolves, we will see more graphics, stats that need to be added. There might be some more animations dropping in there. So it's always an evolving process is what I'm trying to say, I guess. But yeah, this is the basics. It gets you pretty much everywhere you need to go fairly quickly if you hotkey everything. I've got F1 as and F2 are my 2 teams. F3 is your maps. F4 is your matchup splash screen. Now I do make those, so that's about the only thing that you probably couldn't put in your cast. You can come up with something else though that is just as good. And then I've got the F5 to F8 are all my screens, so F5 is my picture-in-picture 1. That's the reverse. Picture-in-picture 2 is F6. F7 is just the drone. F8 is just POV, if I just want to do some full screen stuff. And that's a nice way to drop into the lobby too from any of your intro. It is just with a nice clean screen, preferably in a well shot environment like a third person perspective. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to stop that recording there because I've rambled on way too long. I'm hoping that might be useful. Have any questions, put some comments in the YouTube, because this will go up on YouTube. I'll respond to them. And if you want to see a more detailed tutorial style setup of any of this sort of stuff, let me know and I will see if I can put that together. Thanks for watching.